very fast-moving lava flows were in place, which destroyed several villages and caused some loss of life, which, as I say, not common from eruption of lava flows. Normally they're relatively slow-moving, with plenty of opportunity for people to be evacuated. Well, I was asked, with the population of Mascali at the time, in 1928, had an awareness of the hazard posed by Mount Etna. And yes, almost certainly they would have done. There have been frequent eruptions from Mount Etna, many of which have caused small amounts of damage to agricultural land, to infrastructure. 1923, only shortly before this event, lava flow threatened or came very close to the town of Lingua Glossa. So yes, people would have been aware of the possibility, but it would still have come as a tremendous shock to the people. As I say, this was the most destructive event since 1669. The population of slopes of Etna are well adjusted to the hazard. As I say, the frequent eruptions, they're very visible, and means that the people are good understanding of a kind of behavior of Mount Etna. Here we can see in 1983 the flow field that was developed moving beyond the Refugio Sapienza, which is up here, Etna Sud region, spreading slowly down towards the town of Nicolosi. Fortunately, the lava flow stopped well short of the town. Here we can see the flow field widening, a new lobe coming down, cutting a road with some of the civil defense facilities parked just beside it. Here we can see a fire fountaining event in June 2000, very visible. The fire fountain here, about 1 kilometre high, which played for about 15 minutes, giving a very visible and dramatic presence which would have been seen right to the foot of the volcano and beyond. This is the eruption of 2001, and here we can see the Refugio Sapienza complex with lavas once again streaming down the side of the volcano. So this just reinforces this picture of the community around the volcano living closely with its activity and by and large having a good understanding of its nature. So could Mascali exploit this event for cultural and tourism purposes? Yes, without doubt. The eruption was a very important event. There is a good story to be told, and as I say, particularly from the upper part of the flow field area near Rippedinaka, there are good features still to be seen. So yes, without doubt, a tourist trail could be developed, which I think would be interesting and would be popular. The new town of Mascali itself also is a fascinating insight into the context of a time, a city being built reflecting the aspirations of the Mussolini regime. So here we can see what it was like before the eruption, old Mascali, early stages of eruption, the lava spreading through Mascali itself, and then the end point of the lavas, by which time virtually all of Mascali have been destroyed. The Ferrovia Circumetnea, the railway line that goes round Etna, cut. The main railway line from Catania to Rome, cut here, as also was the road. So it had major impact on communication for months after the eruption itself. And then here we can see New Mascali, situated close to the end of the lavas, and the regimented nature of the town, as I say, reflecting the way in which the regime built a town as they thought a town ought to be built, reflecting their aspirations. As you walk around New Mascali, you see many interesting features. One is the nursery that was built, dedicated to Rosa Mussolini, again reflecting the desire at the time to increase the population of Italy. And nurseries and schools all were part of that strategy. Following the Second World War, it became illegal for fascist symbols to be preserved in buildings. So you can see the dedication to Rosa Mussolini, partly sanded out, partly scrubbed out, but still possible here to see it not fully removed. So yes, Mascali is an important event. 1922 eruption, as I say, one of the best examples we have of the impact of lava on an urban community. And let us hope that it remains the best example for many years to come, and that no other town will be subjected to the same fate in the near future. And also, as I've said, an interesting example of urban planning in the critical period during the 1930s prior to the Second World War. So lots of material here that is of interest to people both locally, both nationally and internationally, volcanological community and historical aspects. Finally, to end the talk, it's worth remembering that though we focus to some extent, as is natural looking at the destruction of Mascali, on the destructive powers of the volcano itself is a constructive feature. New material is being added from the Earth's interior all the time to build up this volcanic edifice. Its fertile soils, the fact it provides water supplies through the dry summer months, makes the flanks of Etna one of the most prosperous rural communities on Sicily, notwithstanding the fact that every few years land and infrastructure is destroyed by lava flows. Etna is without doubt one of the most important natural heritage sites in Europe, and the people of Etna